NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day Sports Show. It is our Week 18 final early look predictions video. Guys, we crushed it again in Week 17. We crushed it! 12-3. One more game tonight. We have the Detroit Lions over the San Francisco 49ers. We got a lot of money riding on this game, and hopefully the Lions can come through and cash all of our parlays. Guys, dominating. In the last 8 weeks, we are 98-34. That's a 74% win rate here on the J All Day Sports Show. That's why you have to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, in today's episode, I'm going to give you predictions for all Week 18 games, all 16 of them. Plus, I'm going to give you playoff scenarios for all the teams that are still in play for the playoffs. Some teams have already locked up their season with nothing left to gain, but some teams are playing for a playoff spot. Let's get into it. NFL fans, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support this season. I hope I won you guys some money, won some of your work pools. We're crushing it this year, guys. I'm very happy with the way we performed. Makes me very sad that this is our last regular season early look prediction video, but guys, we're going to crush it again. I'm hoping with this Lions victory tonight, we'll go 13-3. Let's go 13-3 again this week or better. Let's start out with the Cleveland Browns. First, the Baltimore Ravens. Huge point spread, 18 points. OMG. The Baltimore Ravens can win the AFC North with a win in this game. I'm expecting the starters to play at least half of the game, try to get out to a big early lead so they can rest some of these starters. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. There's no other way around it. The Browns are extremely terrible, and they're looking towards maybe a number one pick with a loss here, guys. So the Browns, I think they win this game. They get the division win and a couple home games in the playoffs. I like the Baltimore Ravens in this spot. Next up, very important division game, Cincinnati Bengals, who are still alive, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? The Cincinnati Bengals need a lot to happen to make the playoffs in this game. They need a win, and Denver needs to lose to Kansas City, who won't be playing their starters, and Miami also has to lose, and they also have to win. So, it's a long shot for Joe Burrow, but this surge towards the second half of the year gives the Bengals some confidence going into next season. They got to try to lock up T. Higgins for the long term. We'll see what happens. But I don't think the Bengals make the playoffs, guys, because I think the Broncos are going to beat Kansas City. But I do think the Bengals win this game versus the Steelers, who've been kind of reeling a little bit. And I just don't think Russell Wilson and George Pickens can keep pace with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals need to upgrade the offensive line this offseason, and if they do, and add a couple pieces in free agency on defense, the Bengals are going to be one of the teams to beat next year in the NFL. I'm rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals. Vegas agrees with me with a -3 spread, with the Pittsburgh Steelers being at home. I don't know, the Steelers just haven't been playing good football the last 4 or 5 weeks, guys. I don't believe in them. I think they're one and done in the playoffs. I'm going with the Bengals to win this game. Next up, Philadelphia Eagles at home taking on the Giants. The only thing that matters in this game is I think Saquon Barkley needs, 101 yards, 104 yards, something like that, to beat Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. Very impressive. He balled out again last week. The dude is an absolute savage. Unbelievably impressive, guys. Just straight up unbelievable. The Eagles have already locked up the number 2 seed, so they have nothing to win or gain from beating the Giants or losing to the Giants in this spot. The only thing that's on the line is the single season rushing record. We'll see if the starters are going to come out early. Maybe Saquon can get going in the first half, get that record, and then go to the bench. I'm taking the Birds no matter what. All right, next up, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, guys. This game's going to be a lot of fun, but Josh Allen, who I think should win MVP, they locked up the number 2 seed. They don't have a lot to play for in this game as well. They don't really have anything to gain. They're either going to play Denver, Miami, or Cincinnati. The Bills are the team to beat in the AFC, even though Kansas City has that number 1 seed. The Bills are the most complete team in the AFC, but honestly, I think the Super Bowl champion comes from the NFC this year. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills because the Patriots are so bad. I feel bad for Drake May. He's like the only player with any talent on that team right now. They have some guys, some interesting pieces, but They need to bring in some free agents. They need to draft better. Jalen Polk's been a huge disappointment. I don't know. It's going to be a while, Patriots fans, until you're competitive in the AFC. Next up, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers. The Bears are a dumpster fire. The Packers are in the playoffs. They can be at the 6th seed or the 7th seed. They need a Commanders loss and a win to get the 6th seed. We'll see if that happens. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers. They're probably going to play their starters in the first half, kind of watch this Washington game. I think they're playing at the same time. Where's this Washington game at? Yeah, I don't know. They're going to be scoreboard watching a little bit. If Washington goes out to a big lead, they can't get the 6th seed, so they'll be watching that for sure. But I'm going with the Green Bay Packers at home especially. The Bears are an abomination. I don't know what the hell the Bears are going to do next year. Caleb Williams has had one of the worst rookie years ever for a starting quarterback that's played as much as he's played. They got a lot of work to do in the offseason. I think they're going to clean house. We'll see what happens. They're going to get a new head coach next year. But the Packers are a good football team, man. The Vikings dominated them yesterday, but I wouldn't want to be playing the Packers in the playoffs, that's for sure. Jordan Love needs to play better football, though. Didn't play great yesterday. Saints, first, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, it's simple. They win and they're in, or Atlanta loses. They're playing the Saints, 14-point spread. They need to come out, kick the snot out of them, get a huge lead, then rest these starters. Tampa Bay, win and they're in. The Saints have been reeling. Probably a new head coach is coming from New Orleans as well. And the Buccaneers have been balling out, man. Baker Mayfield's on fire right now. He put up, another 40 points last night. I mean, the dude is a dog. When the playoffs come, momentum is everything. I expect them to go out, dominate from whistle to whistle, get into the playoffs, win and they're in, or an Atlanta loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. Next up, Houston Texans versus the Titans. The Texans have nothing to gain from this spot. They're not going to play their starters. That's why I'm taking the Titans to win this game. They already locked up the number 4 seed, being the worst division winner record-wise. They have nothing to gain from playing the Titans at all whatsoever. So I'm expecting them to rest their starters. And the Titans maybe squeak by with a, ugly win. Something like 17-14, 13-10, something like that. I'm expecting CJ Stroud and Nico Collins, especially a team that's dealt with a lot of injuries, to rest all of their starters. That's what I would do. That's what you need to do. That's why I'm taking the Titans to win this game. Jaguars, Colts, this game doesn't matter for either of these teams. I would like to see Anthony Richardson play another game just to get a little more experience. The dude hasn't played a lot of football in his career. Joe Flacco actually played pretty damn good, but their defense really let them down, giving up 40 points to the Giants. What? With the playoffs on the line, a potential playoff spot on the line. That's egregious as it gets, man. Just terrible coaching. They just quit on themselves, right? The Giants finally got a home win there. I'm taking the Colts to win this game, but it's going to be close. I would avoid betting on this game at all whatsoever. But I do like the Colts in this spot. I think Anthony Richardson hopefully suits up, gets another game under his belt, and shows the Colts that he's the guy moving forward. Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, the Carolina Panthers season is over. Man, the Falcons played really tough last night. Really tough loss. What a game. What a game, Commanders-Falcons. Playoff-worthy game. Michael Penix Jr. has definitely shown some flashes, guys, of being the guy in Atlanta. I can see why Raheem Morris and company moved on from Kirk Cousins and wanted to get Michael Penix Jr. some experience. He throws a great deep ball. He's got a hell of an arm. I think over time he's going to get on the same page with all these weapons like Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson and Mooney and the crew. I think they're going to be good going forward. They need some pass rushers on defense for sure. The only way Atlanta can make the playoffs is if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose and they win. So, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing early. So, they're going to be watching that game, hoping and praying the Buccaneers somehow squander that game to New Orleans. I don't think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't think the Falcons make the playoffs this year, but I think they're going to be a better football team for this little run they've had towards the end of the season. They're going to be better next year. Just need a couple more pieces on this team. They got a pretty decent offensive line, great weapons on offense. I'm building that defense through the trenches in the draft for sure. I like the Falcons in this spot. I think they beat Carolina in a must-win spot. But we'll have to see. They'll have to scoreboard watch a little bit, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think they're going to want Michael Penix Jr. and the crew to get some more reps together. It's going to be a close game. I don't know if I like them by 8 points, but I like Atlanta to win this game. Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. So, the Commanders clinched a playoff spot. They're going to be either the 6th or the 7th seed, depending on this game. They want to win to get the 6th seed. But the way it works out with the Packers and them, a lot has to happen for the Commanders to not get the 6th seed. I think they need to lose and the Packers win. If they both win, the Commanders get the 6th seed. If they both lose, the Commanders get the 6th seed. So the only way the Commanders will be the 7th seed, guys, is if they lose to the Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers can beat the Chicago Bears. I'm taking the Commanders in this spot. Jaden Daniels has looked so good. He's tough. He's gritty. He's smart with the football. He's doing a really good job not turning it over. He had that one bad pick early in the game, but for the most part, Jaden Daniels has done a great job protecting the football. Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury look great. The coaches there. I love the Commanders in this spot to get a big victory over the Cowboys. Chiefs, Broncos. Chiefs are going to be sitting all their players. Broncos are must-win, and they're into the playoffs. The Broncos win in this spot. The Chiefs are going to be playing all the bums, 3rd, 4th string guys. All the starters and 2nd string guys are probably going to be taking a nice little vacation. Denver Broncos get the win here. They have to win this game to get into the playoffs, right? Denver, they win. They're in. They're the 7th seed and taking on the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. I like the Denver Broncos to win this game for sure, especially at home. Must-win spot. Sean Payton's going to get it done for sure. Miami Dolphins, New York Jets. I don't know if Tua's going to play in this spot. We got to keep our eye on that. Jets at home. They're so bad. You got to take the Dolphins because the Jets are just horrifically terrible. They got blown out again last week. That team is reeling. It's a disaster. So many people are getting fired. I hope Aaron Rodgers is not back. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins with or without Tua. I don't even think it matters because that's how bad the Jets are. There's no camaraderie. They're just playing for themselves. They're not playing for each other. The locker room's lost. I'm going with the Dolphins in that spot. Chargers versus the Raiders. All right, the Chargers are playing for the 5 or the 6 seed, so I expect them to go out, punch the Raiders in the mouth, go out to an early lead. They want to get, in the playoffs, you want to get a higher seed as possible. So, you're in a scenario where they don't have to play the Chiefs early, right? The higher the seed, the less likely they have to play the Chiefs early in the playoffs, right? So I'm going with the Chargers to win this game. I think Harbaugh's going to coach them up. That Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert connection has been so fun to watch. Ladd McConkey's route running is second to none in the NFL. He's a top 5 route runner as a rookie. He's unbelievable, man. That little slant comeback in the end zone, he's extremely talented. I'm a huge fan. And I love Brock Bowers. Guys, what did I tell you? I told you the best offensive weapon in this draft was Brock Bowers. He just broke the yards record, reception record. The dude is absolutely unbelievable. And he's doing that behind a shit offensive line and a terrible quarterback. He's been dealing with terrible quarterbacks all year long, and he's still producing. I love Brock Bowers. But the Chargers get it done. Faux show! Seattle Seahawks, LA Rams. Nothing's going on in this game. The Rams have already locked up the NFC West. So, I think they could potentially be the 3 seed, but I don't know if they're going to want to risk it. They're already in the playoffs. They already got a home playoff game. I don't expect the starters to play a lot in this spot, if at all. To go up from the 4 seed to the 3 seed, I don't think is a huge deal. When you're looking at the playoffs, I'd rather rest my guys, have everybody healthy, especially a team like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford kind of banged up a little bit this year, So I'm sitting my starters. I think that's what they're going to do. So I'm going with the Seahawks in this spot to get a W. I don't know. We'll see. They might come out with the starters in the first quarter or something like that, but I don't expect them to play the whole game. Seahawks get the W. 49ers, Cardinals. The Cardinals are reeling. The 49ers are also reeling. I'm going with the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers to win this game. The Cardinals just are dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive line. Their offensive coordinator sucks donkey balls. But Trey McBride got a touchdown. Finally, only 17 weeks to get the best tight end in football touchdown. Yikes! We'll see how the 49ers look tonight versus Detroit. They've been terrible. So I might go back and forth on this game. I'm not really sure. But right now I'm going to take the 49ers, but I'm not super excited about it. Vikings, Lions. Guys. I'm going with the underdog here. This is where the Lions' injuries come to roost. 21 guys on IR. Minnesota Vikings come into Detroit and get a victory in Week 18 and lock up the number 1 seed. Playing from behind, playing from catch-up all year long. One step behind the Lions ends in Week 18. The Minnesota Vikings are just too good. Their defense is better than the Lions, and their offense is just as good. I think the Vikings defense does just enough to get the W. Minnesota Vikings get the win, and they are the number 1 seed in the NFC. And that means the Lions are going to be a wild card team, go down to the number 5 seed. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm closing in on 13,000 subscribers. I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all the support. It means so much to me. I hope I won you guys some money this year. Actually, if you followed my bets, I know I won you some money this year, guys, because I'm up close to 90%. It'll be over 100% if the Lions win tonight. Let's go, Lions. Thank you guys so much for the support. Go Birds!